Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, feel free to contact me at 339-1670 or call my office at 238-6716. Those of you who have properties to sell or looking for property to buy, you can also contact me. You know, you're looking for a little mortgage for your property also. You want some money borrow and you can't get it through the bank and thing, contact me also. Those of you who lend your friend and your family your hard-earned cash and you cannot get it back, feel free to contact Real Talk Debt Collection Department and we will be glad to assist you in any way possible. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, up the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of you on our page, Real Talk page, remember to like and share our page. In that way, you will be updated with news of the day and events of the day as we go along the day. So viewers, remember, like and share the Real Talk page. Those of you on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, and you will know when we go live. Now viewers, I do want to apologize for not being here Monday and Tuesday of this week. But nevertheless, I am here tonight. God's Pay Live. Wednesday and Thursday will be live because Friday will be the holiday, the Good Friday holiday. Easter Friday, Easter weekend coming up. So, nevertheless, feel free to call in 238-6716. Let me hear what you have to say concerning issues that are facing you in Trinidad and Tobago, in your community, about COVID-19, about the government, about the councillor, about guns, drugs, whatever it is in your area. Feel free to call in. Now, tell your friends and your family, send them a little message, your WhatsApp message, call them, let them know Real Talk is going live tonight, Wednesday night, and also Thursday. So viewers, as we start off tonight's program, let me tell you something. Slowly the numbers are going up in Trinidad concerning COVID-19. Slowly. According to the ministers, if we stay inside, away from our jobs, away from gathering, it will help us to eliminate COVID-19 and to win the fight against it also. So as we start off tonight, government has taken a decision to cancel the patrols of private security firms in residential communities. The decision came one day after it was announced that 4 security firms would be contracted to conduct such patrols. National Security Minister Stuart Young made the announcement during today's media briefing.
After consultation with the Prime Minister, we have taken a decision to immediately cancel this residential patrol system. And as at this time, I'm going to be approaching the 4 security companies, thanking them for stepping forward in a very short time frame, because the first meeting took place last week Friday or last week Thursday, and I asked them to be ready to commence on Monday of this week.
Minister Young said the decision was taken following a response of the public.
This measure was only put in place until the 5th of May, a few days, 5 days after the current end of our stay-at-home measures on the 30th of April. It was not meant to be a long-term arrangement for a very specific purpose.
Now, viewers, was there any contract signed? I'm just asking. Was there any contract signed? And since they cancel it, how much did it cost if they did sign it? The ministry revealed that the cost of patrols from the security firm would have been over $80,000 per month.
Each patrol, we had negotiated a cost for each patrol for this period of a month at $87,000 for the month. The prior cost per patrol in 2014 for the pilot project, which then developed and mushroomed into a much bigger project that cost, I believe, a couple tens of millions of dollars a month. Those patrols in the pilot project were initially about $95,000.
Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
I would like to know what if there's a change in the people signing the citizen pensioners life certificate, if there's a change in signing or what's going on.
Well, that I will have to get more information concerning that, but I am hearing some talks. But I will get back to you. Now, concerning the patrols for the area, why hire a private security firm? They do not have the authorization to lock up anybody. And what would make it worse is if one of these private officers would arrest somebody, and because they are working with the TTPS, gets into some struggle, what would happen? Because, why am I saying this? It's because when police are patrolling on the streets, and sometimes they come up to individual, sometimes there's a struggle. So what if they were patrolling, let's just say they started to patrol, TPS and these private security officers started to roll together. And for some reason, they came upon an individual and he started to retaliate. And these officers, let's just say, get into a fight. And the individual who they are going after sustain some sort of injury. What do you think will take place in a scenario like that? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead, yes.
I just want to say that we're doing a good this year, and God will keep bless you, man.
Thank you, man. This is something that the ministry didn't look into. But I am glad they canceled it, because I am definitely sure we would have had incidents occurring in Trinidad where these private security firms, these officers, feel that they have the ability and the power to lock up individuals now. I am telling you. Tonight I'm going easy. You know why? I want to thank the Minister of National Security for pulling back that. But in pulling it back, was there a cost? Was there a cost to dismissing this contract? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Because it would be very, very ashamed to know that you come out and tell the public Monday that you're going to have joint patrols with the private security firm and TTPS, and Tuesday morning you come out now in a briefing and say you cancel it. Let's hope that there's no additional cost for terminating the project. Let's just hope so, because in a time like this, no. So as we move on, a lot of people were talking about the Defense Force and the Army. So we have a little story for you all. Members of the Defense Force are assisting with construction of a shelter for the homeless. Run the video, guys. This was confirmed in a media release from the Ministry of Social Development. The ministry explained that the temporary shelter is being structured on the ground floor of the Riverside complex in Port of Spain. According to the ministry, works began on Saturday and was expected to be completed today. So viewers, on screen you are seeing the material that I believe was donated by the Ministry of Social Development to the Army officers. That is what you are seeing on screen. So go ahead with the structure that they are building at the ground floor of the Riverside Plaza complex in Port of Spain. So they thought about the homeless people and the COVID-19. And there's one thing I want to do. I want to commend the Ministry of Social Development for carrying out this. Now this is important to the homeless in society. It is important. It shows that they are concerned about them contacting the COVID-19. This was confirmed by the National Security Minister Stuart Young. He sought to bring clarity to the nation, community, as to what the Defense Force have been doing. Minister Young explained that this was just one of the many projects.
Right now, we are assisting with the socially displaced and vulnerable in Trinidad and Tobago. And I applaud the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment. The Ministry of Social Development requested their assistance. Immediately they moved into the Riverside Plaza and they have been building out. And it is quite an operation. And at the end, when they complete it, the facilities at Riverside Plaza, that is being done by our Defense Force. When you see the completed project, the end of it, you should be very proud of what the Defense Force has done. They have revamped the whole inside. They've built out rooms for persons. They've improved the toilet facilities in a 24 to 48 hour period.
So now viewers, tonight I'm not hitting hard. This is just to let you know, because a lot of people was saying that the Defense Force was sitting down. Now, what prompted me is when they said they were going to take the 4 security firms into doing patrol. And a couple hours after, the minister came out and said, we are not going to do that anymore. I just want to know if there's any additional price that would cost, or an additional cost for terminating this from the 4 security firms. I remember the last contract we terminated, it cost us US. It cost a lot. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
I know you said you weren't hitting hard, but I just want to ask, since they listened to the public voice to cancel the contract, one, why didn't they listen to our voices to fix foods in the country? And 2, why not give the public the money that was promised? Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Now, viewers, feel free to call in. Let me hear what you have to say, because these are issues that we are dealing with on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Now, remember to share our live stream, Real Talk with Saieed, or Real Talk page. Like and share as we go live. We are here for you, the people. Now, in Trinidad, there's a lot of people on the broadline. How are they facing it on a daily basis? If you are in that situation, feel free to call us and let us know what is taking place with you, with your conditions concerning job-wise, concerning food. Because the ministry is saying that they are, from next week, they are going to release 3,000 food cards again to the MPs in the community to give out to you. A lot of people have been calling me and saying, Saieed, our business place have closed up, our employer have shut the door, and we are home. Now, for some of them, Sometime we got a call today at the ministry. An individual went in with their documents, and the ministry said that these documents need to be stamped. They need to be stamped by the employer. Some of them did not get any paper or such to carry into the ministry of NIB in order to get a relief grant. Some said that, Saeed, when we went in with our documents, after X amount of years of working for our employer, we got to find out that our employers were not paying NIS. I got a lot of calls concerning that. Our employers are not paying NIS and they were taking it out from their salary. So on screen what you are seeing is the salary relief grant. They have filled it out. They went into the ministry only in NIB office only to realize that their employer have been taken out their NIS and was not making payments to the NIS board. So when they went in and they have everything, they saw everything, when they pull up their name, there's no NIS payment. I got a lot of calls. A lot of calls concerning this. A lot. So how are they going to fix this? Now they are on the breadline. They are not getting a salary from their employers. And when they go to the NIS office now, they are blanked. So that placed a lot of them on the breadline because their business, their place of employment is closed. So how are we going to deal with this now? Paula, good night.
Hello, good night. Mr.
Hello,
Nano.
yes, go right ahead.
Good night. I just want to tell you, you're doing a great show. And don't forget about the container. What came and what left in it. You want to know what's going on with that still.
Thank you, my friend. I will keep you up to date on that. Don't worry. So concerning the NIS payments, how are we going to deal with that now? Because that's an issue by itself. How will they get a rent relief? How will they get food relief? Because if your employer did not pay your NIS and you're working for 10 years and is only in a situation like this now, when you go to them, you realize for the last 10 years, your boss was taking out your NIS money, and in NIS, when you sit down with a clerk, there is no payment of NIS for the last 10 years. How are we dealing with this now? Now keep in mind, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, we're home now. And when we think now that, okay, we go get a little relief from the NIS because my boss taking it out, I've seen it on my pay slip, only to realize for the last 10 years, you have been getting nothing. Or you will be getting nothing. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed Ali.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, about this NIS thing, right? When they go, right, I saw somebody dealing with it. And when I go to get the amount of contribution she has, they don't want to disclose it to me. I have been running all over the place to see all where she works.
Okay, thank you, my friend. So how are we going to deal with this? How many of you ended up in this similar situation? Feel free to call in. Because you see, at the end of the day, you will be without a salary. You will be without a salary. Now, we have a live show tonight. We run tomorrow. And Thursday, we will also have a live show. So, tell your friends and your family, this is what we're discussing. Feel free to call in. Let me know, hey, Saeed, I am a victim of that. I've been working for my employer for the last 10 years, 11 years, and when we went, no NIS. Caller, good night. Hello? Yes?
Yeah. Said, boy, look, all what the tech bills, all that thing, right? Remember, people are working, people are getting no stock or goods what they have to get to sell or whatsoever. So how they paying the bills?
Exactly.
And take them what they bill for the every 2 months.
Yes.
You understand? What the government supposed to do? The government supposed to stand down them bill until
Further notice.
start back again, right?
Yes.
And the next policy, what about the poor man who are working and paying no NIS and looking for a day work?
Exactly.
How he living?
True.
He again nothing from the government.
True.
So what's going to be his policy now? He's starving them.
Correct. Correct.
You understand?
Yes.
But this is the thing, then is the people supposed to get money, like how the Canadian and American government giving every individual.
Yes. Yes.
You understand? So the poor man has nothing to get. Just so when the poor man have to go and open a banking account in the bank, remember, he lighting candles, he's a poor man, he working for under $500 a week. Right? And next month, they want light bill, they want phone bill, they want
Yes,
this.
yes.
So he can't open a banking account. At all, a poor man has to starve in this country, but no banking account can open for them.
Thank you, my friend.
Understand?
Yes. As we move on tonight, viewers, Police Commissioner Gary Griffith today confirmed that he had not restarted the community comfort patrols. This comes following the announcement by the government on Tuesday that private security firms were contracted to conduct residential patrols. The commissioner statement came before the announcement that the government has cancelled its decision to allow the patrols. In a media release, Commissioner Griffith noted that the initiative was a policy drafted by the government. He, however, assured that his officers were on the front line to ensure that persons adhere to the public health regulations, which means they were carrying out their order to make sure that there were no big set of gathering. If you are in a gathering, you would space out yourself, because I saw a lot of them, a lot of officers by the sugar owners market there, making sure that they were enforcing the law. I witnessed that myself. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali, with reference to that residential issue of patrol, that have been going on so for years. Those people in the residential area hire their own security company to patrol the area.
True.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't know where this coming out from, that the government must pay for security to patrol that area. I really do not understand that, because in Trinidad and Tobago, those people can afford to do those things from an empty treasury where we already have tightened our belt, Mr. Ali.
Correct.
You understand?
Yep.
So that is total nonsense. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, my friend. From an empty treasury came billions. From an empty treasury, there came billions. I just want to remind, as we on this money thing, I just want to remind the Minister of Finance that you said that there were 3 large entities that have come together to fund Trinidad and Tobago. So when you hear you start to talk about the government need tax in order to supply payments for COVID-19, let me tell you something, Mr. Finance Minister. You held a press conference and you told the public that one, IMF will be supplying funds together with 3 other entities for the COVID-19 and to help relief to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Even you said over 100 countries went to the IMF. So I see the other day you released, I think it was yesterday, where you're telling the public that you need their taxes. The people need their VAT refund too. The people need their VAT refund too. Just how you need your taxes to run the government, to run the payments of salaries. Just so the business people need their VAT refund. So don't forget what you say in your briefing, because I'm here to remind you. I am here to remind you. I am not a minister. I am not the minister of nothing. I am Saieed Ali. I am the host of Real Talk. I am the owner of my business. So this is just to remind you. You made that statement on a media briefing. The IMF, together with 3 other entities, are supplying funds to Trinidad and Tobago, and 100 countries also went to the IMF. I will get the video clip tomorrow. Don't worry, I will get it. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Shaheed.
Go right ahead.
Tell me something now. Why it is why does the government wait so long to come reach and to attack this kind of virus that we have, the COVID-19? Now, the point is, this have been started to circulate since November, right? Now, you're running into the carnival.
Yep.
And how we will say it, big bottom girls. Right? But the whole point about it is that he feels he will make a pound and a crown for the carnival, which he failed because he didn't really make no kind of money. This virus has been circulating since November. We had December, January, February, March. In upon March, to get some problem and knowing that people are dying with this virus, right? You know how many people will be dying with it before and they never open up the body to really see what they die with, what is the symptoms that they have, and we ruin our body and we know what's taking place. You know how many people will be coming on with this virus and nobody know what's going, because the immune system is different, it builds different, stronger than some people. And the point is, he telling the people that the landlord will wait on you. When they have money for the government don't wait for his money. I followed income tax last year, and them telling me I am owing them. And I have to go and pay $2,400 and something one spot by a next spot. What I don't understand with these ministers and them, they just come out and say something tonight, and tomorrow they will come and change it. And when they can't change it, the next day there's life for the population. Because right now we don't have enough respirator. 1 minute they have respirator, 1 minute they don't patronize with this tablet that they have, and don't go panic buying. What do you expect the people them to do? You have KFC all about the place open, and the small man like myself, we have a little roti shop, can't even sell a dal puri from Sunday coming.
True.
So it's the poor man that's really feeling the full gun, not the 1%, you know.
Thank you, my friend.
Backing up the 1%.
I do apologize. Thank you. National Security Minister Stuart Young said up till late last night, members of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard is assisting in the movement of COVID-19 patients. He was speaking about the projects being undertaken by the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and the Coast Guard at this time. There was a public criticism following the decision of the government to contract the service of private security firms to conduct residential patrols. Minister Young said last night that the Coast Guard assisted in the transfers of COVID-19 patients from Tobago.
Last night there was an operation by our Coast Guard to bring a positive patient from Tobago via a Coast Guard vessel that had to be properly sanitized, outfitted for the operation. That took place last night. At 4:30 this morning, the Coast Guard, under the supervision of the Ministry of Health, were able to bring the person to Trinidad for that person to get medical attention at either Quora or Couva.
Caller, good night.
Yes, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Right, just a couple comments. So first up, I'd like to thank the Trinidad and Tobago public for protesting against the use of these private security firms. Today we have used our collective voice and it worked.
Yes.
The other point I have is we are under the partial lockdown of stay at home. Yet I've heard your callers indicate that they have to go to so many employers to get this NIS forms done up. They have to go back to NIS. This is causing exposure to these people, further risk to these people.
Yep.
You have iterated that the finance minister indicated there were 3 institutions along with the IMF that is going to provide funding. They have accessed the Heritage and Stabilization Fund. Where is the money going?
Exactly.
Right? At the end of the day, these people do not have to be out there exposing themselves, putting themselves at risk to fill out an NIS form when there are other entities that is providing financial support. This is totally ridiculous. Good night.
Thank you. Why go in the Heritage and Stabilization Funds when there are 4 big entities willing to fund Trinidad and Tobago concerning the COVID-19 for the less fortunate? Why not leave the Heritage and Stabilization Funds for a more rainy day? Why do you, let me tell you something, you all have been talking about the Heritage and Stabilization Funds, that it is there for a crisis and that we are in a crisis. Keep in mind, you yourself, Mr. Minister of Finance, said there are 4 large entities willing to supply money to Trinidad. So let me ask you something. If this pandemic that we are in presently escalate for the next 8 months, and you all dip in the HSF and money runs out, what are we to do? Now, like I said before, if 1 case of COVID-19 should hit Trinidad and Tobago, what measures do we have in place? It is almost 3 weeks now. Almost 3 weeks now. Am I right? Almost 3 weeks now that citizens are asked to stay away from their jobs. Some employers are paying their citizens, their workers, but how long will they be able to pay their workers? How long? Now you want to grab the HSF fund for, say, this is a rainy day and we are in a crisis. You throw out 1 or 2 billions. But if these 4 big entities are willing to supply you with money for the COVID-19, just how the other 100 countries went to the IMF and they are getting funding, take it. Leave the HSF for a more rainy day. You see, I am not about the UNC. I am not about the PNM. I am not about the NJAC. I am not about the PPE. I am about a rightful thinking citizen in Trinidad and Tobago that is standing up. That is standing up for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago as a pillar and as a voice with a platform so they can vent. But you see, the thing is, when you have power and you feel you can do anything, it is be a mistake. Because it is have backlashes. You see how they wanted to hire 4 security firms, and next day, you know what, we take a decision not to do that again. That could have cost the state millions. It could have cost the state millions in terminating contracts. That's why I asked the question, how much did it cost? Or was there a cost of terminating? You see, I just look at the bigger picture, you know. I just give you a solution from in front. So when it hit attack, we already have a solution. But we didn't have no solution. We had nothing in place to deal with COVID-19. While Jamaica was preparing, we were saying it's not important. That is what we were saying in Trinidad. Paula, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
My friend.
Saeed, power the people, boy. Security and people be stupid in this country. Saieed is the only people stand up. We don't force security to say they want to believe. The people stand up and say they're stupid, they waste some money, or they have the army, what kind of thing, what are they doing with the security? The people stand up and protest. Now what security is saying is the people feeling safe with the security they have, so that the government listen to them. If the government listen to them because of that, the people realize all the wasting taxpayers' money, and all have the army, all that kind of thing, people still feeling unsafe. They will have millions of dollars to enforce security from, and people are hungry all over the place. So the power of the people side, they're the other champ in this country. The power of the people, they're the ones in this country. I love to one side.
Thank you, my friend. Was there a cost attached? Now, back to the poverty line. How long would employers or business owners be able to pay their workers? Now, it went on for 2 weeks, and it has been extended until the 30th. So how long would the business people be able to pay their workers just to hold on? Because the businessmen, I myself, are waiting, but holding on to see what is taking place. I myself. Because at the end of the day, there is a cost to everything. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead.
From my they say the treasury is empty. From my empty treasury, where they get all this million now? All the time it was an empty treasury. They said, tighten your belt. How did I have so much money now? Good night, and bye.
Thank you, my friend. Now we're moving on. Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health has been exploring its option to increase COVID-19 testing in Trinidad and Tobago. As a result, Health Minister Terence Dayal Singh said private labs can now begin testing. He made the announcement on Monday. Minister Dayal Singh, however, insisted that these labs must be certified by CAFA.
We want to encourage private labs to do testing. We want to encourage it. We are asking all private labs, once you have your PCR machines, to approach CAFA for validation. The new regulations under Section 8 now puts a positive requirement, a positive duty of care on private labs who are certified by CAFA to have a positive reporting obligation to report their results directly to the Chief Medical Officer.
I have a big statement for all. We have a big discussion to start. Just last week, Minister Dayal Singh said CAFA will be the only lab to conduct such testing.
No private lab has been certified by CAFA to conduct testing. We will only accept results because this is now a reportable disease. We must get the data, and it must be data that the country can rely on. CAFA, to date, has not certified any private lab to do testing. The day they do that, we will accept their results.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parashram last week said that the test from private labs were not corresponding with CAFA's result. So I want to hear now, what caused them to start now to encourage private labs to do testing? What prompted them? What pushed them in that direction? What caused it? Huh? What caused it? Because I heard the minister was saying, well, let me take this call first. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Yes, Mr. Saieed, I hope everything good and you're doing a good job, man.
Thank you.
I told the prayer where I see you Monday and Tuesday, unless I was watching the wrong channel.
I do apologize for not being here Monday and Tuesday.
All right, man. I'm trying them anxious to the wrong in front of the TV. What I wanted to find out though, they're saying one thing, the minister held 1 minute he said one thing and next thing better than make the CMO the doc minister help. That had the poor fella like he don't know what to do again. Every question that asked that man, he put it on to he.
True. Thank you, my friend. Because I was asking myself the same thing, you know. We have this CMO there, Mr. Roshan Parasram, and every time a question was directed to the minister, he would direct it to the CMO. So who is the Minister of Health? Is the Minister of Health a doctor? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. So listen this. The minister was saying they had travel advisory since the 31st of January. Since the 31st of January, that was advising the people, be careful on your traveling. How much people came in for Carnival? Me, I blame Carnival, you know. But I want to listen this. You're telling the citizen about advisory traveling. About 40,000 people come in the country for Carnival. But you're telling we, the citizen, since the 31st, travel advisory. But about 40,000, you say, come in to Trinidad and Tobago. What we going to do? What we going to do? We have to hear what the minister say. But what they don't realize is that in the public domain, it have people smarter than ministers. They speak 6 languages, not just English. That is why when I closing up my show every night, you know, I just roll my tongue a little bit. 6 languages they speaking, not just English. So all the time they're saying the test from the private labs, oh God, we're not taking that, and there's only CAFA certified, and one set of tra-la-la-la. Today now, they're telling them now to go get certified. What prompted them to do that? Is it because that we have asymptomatic people in the population of Trinidad and Tobago? And is the amount, I'm just saying something. I'm just saying something. We have 938 tests being done. We stood at 107 confirmed. We have 8 deaths. We have 1 discharge. Keep in mind, the minister said we had about 4,000 test kits in Trinidad. I'll keep that in mind. I'll do the maths. We have about almost 1.35 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. We have no idea of how many asymptomatic people we have in Trinidad. So let's just say you ramp up the COVID-19 testing. We have 3,000 kits. You're encouraging private labs who have their PCR machines to get certified. Why we didn't bring out that from the beginning when COVID-19 hit Trinidad? Why didn't you say, well, okay, we have private labs in Trinidad and Tobago. You all go get certified by CAFA. Let's look to cramp this COVID-19 before it raptures Trinidad and Tobago. 1.3, 1.4 million people. Let me tell you something. We too small. We too small compared to outside states. Why can't you all, as those of you in leaders position, leading Trinidad and Tobago, why don't you all come together and put a grip on this thing instead of 20 tests today, we have to wait 24 hours for a CAFA. By the time you're waiting on 24 hours, about 50 of them might come and do a test. And then we have to wait the next 24 hours again. And now the minister come out and say now, one person could infect 2 persons, and 2 persons could infect 8 persons, and 8 persons could infect 10 persons. You now talking about that? I was talking about put something in place before we have one case. I was talking about one case about a month back, or maybe more. You now come up with the idea now of 1 person could contaminate 2 persons, and 2 persons to 4 persons. Oh gosh, man, you're too late. We're already contaminated. We already. So why didn't you come out now? You all wasn't watching what's taking place in the outside world? Let me tell you something. I just be up till 2, 3 in the morning. MSN, BBC, UK News, CNN, keeping up to date with this thing that is taking place in the world, COVID-19. You know why? I want to be informed. I want to be informed. Caller, good night.
Sorry, good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
I wonder how much time these 2 ministers had to pray every day after they briefed the nation. It's Young and they are saying, because it's the amount of lies upon lies they're just telling everybody and the whole nation every day. I wonder how they feel about this, knowing that the line every morning they come on national TV and addressing the nation. Come out and tell the truth, but nobody want to talk the truth. We have more than 107 cases right now and nobody saying nothing. They just lying every day. I used to watch them every morning, but I get so sick and fed up of watching that. I do watch them again. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. You see, we are heading for crucial times, you know. You see, wait, it extended until the 30th of April. What about if they come out and say they extended it for another 2 weeks again? What's going to happen? Salary relief grant. How many people collect it? From tomorrow, the forms. From tomorrow, the forms will be available. You have to go up on the NIBTT website, the National Insurance Board website, plus you will be in certain police stations will be able to have the forms from tomorrow. From tomorrow, we have a situation now where bosses of business, you're taking out just your NIS from your workers. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. When the worker end up in NIS office now, oh God, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, your NIS money, your boss take it out. When you do check, your name is not there, paying 0. What's going to happen? There's another crisis we are facing. Caller, good night.
Yes, Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead.
That is just one of the topics I was calling you to talk about tonight.
Touch
NIS. People have businesses and they're not paying NIS for their workers. And now this command happen in the country. I know it will open up a lot of can of worms, as they call it.
Yes.
Because people suffering, they would not get that grant. They have the rent, they have the children to feed, and they dare not go and apply for that money. The second thing, Saeed, what are they trying to do to our commissioner of police by trying to hire private companies to make surveys in the country with COVID? We have enough police officers to do that. We have the army to do that. That is what they are paid for. They're trying to embarrass my commissioner of police. We have 200 motorbikes, Saeed.
Yes.
How many motorbikes you see on this road? If you see 100 motorbikes, you see plenty. Why the police officers not on the motorbikes patrolling the areas?
True.
If they don't have enough vehicles to do it. What are they trying to do? Let this man's integrity go down the drain? He is doing more than any commissioner, Saeed. If people want to speak the truth, he out on the street. How many of them in khaki you seen taking the hot sun and coming out here and toiling and batting it? None.
True.
He is the only one side. We have to give credit where credit is due. And
Thank you, my
respect
friend.
the man for who he is.
Thank you so much. The distribution of masks to the public is expected to begin this weekend. Health Minister Terence Dialsingh said it will be done with assistance of FEEL. FEEL is a non-government organization that's an NGO which has offered its service to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Everything comes with a price, you know. Everything comes with a price. Now, viewers, as of 4 p.m. today, there were no new confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. The number of deaths remained at 8, while the number of discharged persons remained at 1. In the last 4 updates from the Ministry of Health, those numbers remain steady. However, it is noted that the number of testing continued to climb. As of this evening, 938 testing were completed. So what you are seeing on screen is the last update of the ministry today. So that is our final until as of 4 p.m. this afternoon. It remained at that. So let's just hope it remained at that. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali, the people of Trinidad and Tobago want to really know about this shameless minister who want to bring in this private security. You cannot charge nobody or arrest nobody. But you know what is the thing about it? The ground report mashed them up this morning, and the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, anyway you turn, you're hearing the kicking against it. But what happened? Remember this election here? And now this government, they cannot give us no big contract to take place at this time. So these contract they're trying to get, they want to take it, but that kickback money is sufficient for them. That is why, look how long we waiting for we money from the maxi taxi. We ain't getting nothing. Since February month we ain't get paid. Look at, we work 3 years now, I ain't getting the inland revenue money yet. Is that we're waiting on to survive?
Thank you, my
But
friend.
it's shame.
Bust him in time. Thank you, my friend. Now, viewers, when I call in to make your comments, please stay along the line. Stay along the line. Now, I'm going to tell you something. How many of you, this is something that I want to start, because we are, I should say, going into a crisis. We are going into a crisis. According to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, we are in a crisis. But people are staying home from jobs. How many of you are willing to contribute to Real Talk, to give to the needy? How many of you? How many of you people out there willing to contribute? If it's a pound of potato or a pound of dal, to give somebody in need. Because this is what I want to start to do. From tonight, all the way next week, I want to start that. Because there are lots of people in Trinidad and Tobago that is not qualifying for rental grant, for salary assistance, or any form of relief that the government is presently giving out. Why am I saying that? Based on the calls that I received over the weekend up till today. Up till today. So I decided to start an initiative. I decided to start that. How many of you are willing to contribute? Feel free to give us a call. You can contact me at 339-1670 or 238-6716. How many of you are willing to contribute? How many? This is something I want to start now, because of the calls that I have been receiving, I decided to start this. Now let me tell you something. On the 19th of March, we'll make it 2 years, Real Talk is on the air. And I have stood firm without asking one person to contribute to my show, to keep it on air. And I thank God for that. If I do ask for an assistant, it's because somebody needs it. I could testify to that. And you, the viewers of Real Talk, could also stand and say, Saieed, that is true. You never ask anybody to contribute to my program. So tonight, all the way up until next week, for those of you who would like to contribute, the business sector, the private sector, to contribute something to Real Talk, to give out to the poor, feel free to get in touch with us. 339-1670, 238-6716. Because a lot of people are in need. They are at home and they cannot get nothing. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Tell me something. Well, far as you see now, they say the fisherman is essential.
Yes, fishermen could go out
I
and
have
work.
been running a donut in my car for the past 2 weeks. And the tire shop not even getting a time to open, but they open the hardware. What is really going to buy stuff from the hardware? What is essential from the hardware to sell?
I understand.
Shop for the mechanic garage.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I understand that. Tomorrow we'll go into it a little deeper and see what the government could do. You know, when Saieed talks, sometimes things has changed, you know. Things has changed. So I'm asking you, the public, we have a couple seconds, about 30, 40 seconds left on our show tonight. I'm asking you to the public. I don't ask for nothing from all you. But we are going into a time where mouths will be hungry. I am telling you that. Based on the several hundred calls that I got from last week to now. Our boss are not paying NIS. When we went to the office, it was shocking. Today they are out of a job. Their kids are home. Business are closing up. And they have hungry mouths to feed. How many of you would like to donate something? Feel free to get in touch with me at 339-1670 or 238-6716. If you have cash and you want to donate it, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. I could talk to probably a supermarket to get stuff wholesale just for the people who do not have. And believe me, you can't outsmart me, you know. I tell you point blank as it is, you cannot outsmart me. You can't call me and tell me, Saieed, we have no food in the house. And I just do spirit work, I just do reading for people. I will tell you point blank, Mr. Man, bring out the 10 pound of potato you have hiding under the bed. You can't come around me with them kind of thing. You understand? I'm a very straightforward individual coming to these things. For those of you who remember when we tried to help the family in Barapur, those of you contributed. When the bacchanal take place, when the man tell me he will bat him with a gun, but if I reach down there, I came on there, I asked for help, I got help. When they did the bacchanal, I came right back on my set, and I said to the individual, whoever contributed, come and collect back your money. I didn't pocket anything. I didn't take money and material and drop it by somebody to sell or to gain some money. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight. I will be here tomorrow, Thursday night, with you all for another episode of Real Talk. Our run of this program is at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And remember to share our live stream, Real Talk with Saieed. If you wish to contribute, feel free. 339-1670, 238-6716. Amatur aba'illah illa inta. Give to the needy in the time of need, so you will get back when your time reach. Good night and be safe.